Duchess Dark has entered the chat. Let me mute my screen here. Hello. Let me go back and see here. Bernadette, hello. Lib Creeps Gaming, hello. Phantom Zone, hello. Dim Gypsy, hello. Evil Satyr, hello. Quentin Dixon, hello. If I've missed any, oh, Spooky Boo, hello. Hello. How is everybody doing today? Can you all hear me? Let me do a test, check. Everybody hear me? All right. All right. All right. Hey, Jerry Rholetter. Hey. Yeah, that's great. Guys, make sure you check out Spooky Boo's channel. Evil Satyr has a channel. Who else has a channel that's here? Lib Creeps Gaming, I'm guessing you have a channel. If anyone has a channel, make sure you let people know so they can check you out. I have no problem promoting other channels. Seems to be an issue for some others, but excuse me. I'm just joking. Roger Hensley, hello. All right, good. Let me see here. So I did a movie review last week. I don't know if you guys watched it. I want to start showing my face on camera. I just got out of the shower though, so that's not going to happen. But I want to start getting into different stuff like that. I still am going to do reads and things like that, but I want to do that. My husband and I also found 2 cemeteries that you can kind of go to at night that are fairly close. The list of places that we could kind of urbex are not that close, so we actually have to like make a plan to go there for amount of time. And plus, we'd have to have someone watch our dog. I don't think I would feel comfortable taking my dog to an urbex, not knowing the security of the place, structurally, and then also if there's someone there that we have to like deal with. I mean, any place I went that's like a place that you can urbex, I'm obviously going to get permission first because I'm not about to like have some sort of criminal charges or trying to run from the cops. Check out After Prison Show. Hello, Veronica. What's After Prison Show? Is that a YouTube channel? Just let us know in the comment section. What was I going to say? Urbexing, that. So I did watch 2 movies, and instead of doing like a whole separate movie review, I thought I'd just talk about. I went scouring YouTube to try and find people who do like some of the most scary movies on Netflix type of lists. And there were 2 that, one I had never heard of until I saw the list, and the other one I wanted to watch and then realized it was on Amazon Prime, so I could watch it without having to run it. Hello, Autumn. Hello, Squirrel. So one is called Emily, and I will try and insert this clip, or not a clip, a picture of like the movie, what's it called? And this one I saw on Netflix. It was weird. Like, so it starts out this normal, regular after school scene of this girl talking about how she can't do something with her friends because she has to babysit. And it's from a distance. So you just think it's like intro credits. Only all of a sudden this car pulls up, takes the girl, she's gone. So the couple that was waiting for her ends up calling, like, looking on Facebook for a babysitter and finds this girl named supposedly Emily. And she comes to their house and the dad picks her up and drives her over. And the whole time in the car, like the dad's just making normal chit chat. And so is the girl, but the girl is looking like it's the angle and the look on her face that you just get the vibe that it's something is wrong with this girl. Like, it doesn't make any freaking sense. I'm going to share I'm going to share it with you in a second here so you can see. If you've watched it, then you know what I'm talking about. But the girl who, she's supposed to be a teenage babysitter, it's just weird before she even gets out. And it's weird that the dad didn't notice just because she's making such strong eye contact in the car. And things are weird with her right off the bat. And you also notice the whole time that while the parents are out for their anniversary dinner, someone's watching them from a distance. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then the babysitter gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And it turns out that is this going to spoil it for anybody if I tell you what's going to happen? I don't want to ruin it for you, but hey, Schmeister. I don't want to ruin it for you, but long story short, she was planning on taking one, and I won't tell you why, because if I do, that'll mess up like part of the movie. But yeah, so I think it's worth it because it's like, wow, the movie ends on a wow. I definitely would take the time to watch that movie. And another one that I really wanted to see, just because, and I know it's on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, definitely watch it. It's just weird. Like right when you think the babysitter's going to take it too far, she doesn't. But then in the end, it goes, bam! It's just wow. And the oldest kid just saves the day. That's all I'm going to say because I'll ruin it for you. Another one that I watched because it's new. It's got Jennifer Lawrence in it. Mother. You know, someone said it's not what it seems in the previews because they made it out to be a horror movie. It's definitely a horror movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it, but I might spoil it for some of you. But my cat just keeps meowing like crazy. Come here, kitty. She's lonely, but I'm right here by her, so I don't understand that. Anyway, it starts out odd. And as the movie goes on, like my husband was laughing at me because my eyebrows were raised and my face was like, what the fuck is going on? Like 50% of the movie, I was like that. I was either she's crazy or everyone else in the movie was crazy. And then it nosedived into this, what I can only describe as a nightmare that I would have personally have because it was so fucked up and real. And it just kept going and going and going and going and going. I'm like, holy shit. So if you can wait for it, whew, it's a doozy. But you spend 50% of the movie kind of confused. But I will say that's how you're supposed to feel. So Lucifer TV. No. Because no. Somehow Lucifer finds a heart and starts, I mean, I'm sure it's good. I'm not going to doubt it, but it just, Lucifer's supposed to be bad, man. Don't paint him as the good guy. That's what I heard from someone else that was watching it. So if you like the show and you recommend it, then everybody. No, my nightmares don't involve Jennifer Lawrence. I would say she's probably like a younger version of me, but more bold. Definitely. I wish I would have been a lot more bold when I was her age. Ooh, that just made me sound so fucking old, didn't it? I don't care. Yeah, people are demonizing demons. Did that make sense? I have like a huge list of movies I'm going to watch, but definitely if you have the patience to get through Mother, it's a mind fuck. That's what I like about scary movies. I don't want to know how a movie ends. And Emily and Mother, I could not guess the ending. I had no idea what was going to happen. I love that. I love when I cannot guess who the killer is, guess what's going on before the movie's over. I don't want to be able to. So that to me is very creative, and that's complicated because making something original that doesn't have a predictive ending is hard to do. And it's hard to get people to watch it because, society as a whole wants something very cookie cutter. So I think it's really brave to step out of the box like that. Let's see. Like sexy vampires. Do you really want to be a bop a corpse? I mean, no, that sounds disgusting. But yeah, I had my bout of loving vampires myself, but it comes and goes. My big thing right now is psychological horror, so I'm not into gore. I'm not into promoting murder, if that makes sense. I want something that takes a lot of time and thought. But again, I say that all the time about creepypastas. I don't think it takes a lot of effort. I think it takes a lot of talent to get somebody really interested in a character and a story in 5 or 20 minutes and really take you for a ride in your mind. And then boom, you're like, what just happened? That's really creative. That deserves way more credit than it ever gets. So, yeah. Do I think people could be cursed? I do. But I believe there are ways to remove that from one's life as well. And sometimes that involves removing people that insist on bringing negativity into your life, which is really, really hard. Schmeister, I really want a story about a Van Helsing type setting nowadays. The modern feel is getting old. Uh, Slasher movies. I mean, I'm a Halloween fan. I cannot wait to go see Halloween 2018. But what I don't understand is anybody that watched Halloween H2O, she beheaded him in that one. So is there going to be some sort of explanation as to how he's alive now? Like she killed him in in that one. So how is he alive now? I don't know. I never know. Hi, honey. Hi. Um, Curses are real, definitely. You can break them. You can break them. Um, is that what you meant though by slasher movies like Halloween or Friday the 13th? Yeah, I love those. I love those because there's that whole um hype element to it, and it's just something familiar, and they just keep going no matter how ridiculous it is. I think they could make Halloween for like 50 fucking years, and it would still have an audience for real. Um, Speaking of something that could make tons and tons and tons and tons of sequels and still have an audience, how do you guys feel about Deadpool? Do you like it? Do I believe in ghosts? Are you new here, Lib Creeps? Have you watched anything or been to a live stream before? I don't think I've seen you before. But yeah, we dive deep into the paranormal here. I think everyone here believes in it to some degree. Definitely. I love most horror except the weird fetish ones like human. Yeah, I didn't want to watch that because I'm pretty sure that someone had tried to copy that. That's why I don't like those because you know there's some fuck up out there that's going to try and steal people and then try to make that happen for real. That's why I don't like that because you're promoting shit like that. Because I mean, there's people that can handle it and it's totally fine. I'm just not a fan of someone. Ah, I'm losing my voice. Uh-oh. Yeah. I'm curious how many guns Myers can take. I think just like him being beheaded, um, because he's supernatural, so he's gonna take everything. I mean, I really want to know though how he got beheaded and came back to life, so that would be interesting. Oh my gosh, Deadpool. I'm a huge smartass fan, so I loved it. Especially loved when he had to, well, I don't want to spoil it if no one's seen it, so I especially loved when he had to regrow something. Regrow. Well, never mind. I probably already spoiled it for someone. Oh well. Jason meets Reanimator. So yeah, but he'd still not have a head. That's the confusing part about that one. Um, how did he get his head back? That's what I'm like. Supernatural is supernatural. So is this one like the ghost of himself because he's obviously everyone can see him and feel him and hear him and is scared of him. So um yeah, trying to see what we didn't read yet. Like what haven't I read? There's a lot of stuff I haven't read. I still have to go through all of my story submissions for the contest. There's not that many. So I wanted to read all the story submission. And if you're new here and you don't know, I'm having a story contest that goes what is going through all through August and all through September. And the cutoff date is September 31st. So anything that's been submitted will be read throughout October. And so far, there's only enough to cover probably a week. So, and that's stretching it out. Um, and I've only had one art submission. So, yeah, I don't know. Not Jason, but Michael meets Reanimator. Schmeister, I love the part where he calls Cable Thanos. Yeah, that's funny. Um, I like that kid Fire Fists Russell, I think. I just loved it. Let me see. So I have, if you guys watch either of those movies too, I want to know what you think. Especially, I really want to know what you think about Mother. Emily is one that you don't expect to scare you because you think it's going to be like, and then it goes, it's fucking hardcore. But Mother, I want to know if anybody watches that. Let me know if you watch it and what you think of it and how you felt while you're watching it. Because 50% of the time I was like, what the fuck is going on in this movie? I can't figure it out. So I had to keep watching it so I could see what the hell was going on. Otherwise, I don't think it would have hung in there. But I want to know what you guys think if you watch it. Oh no. Okay, so I found something that's called 34 People Reveal the Horrifying Family Secret That Shook Them to Their Core. I've never read this one, so I don't know if they're necessarily scary, but I'll read like the first 3 and you guys can tell me, excuse me, if you want me to keep going with it or not. Check the chat really quick. Number 1, secret brother. So maybe 6 months ago or so, I found out that I have a maternal half brother that I never knew about. Found him on Facebook. He's a very decent human being and has been nothing but friendly toward me. His childhood sounds horribly sad at the fault of my mother, and it's for that reason I still can't bring myself to really sit down and talk to him about family history. I feel like they could have went into more detail about that. I don't think it's scary. I think it's sad. I don't know. I'll read the first 3 and then you guys I haven't seen Stranger. I saw part of it and that looked kind of like I don't want to encourage scenarios like that. That's why and that's actually about a true event. I don't know. That's like someone's worst nightmare. I feel like that's one of my worst nightmares, so I don't really want to I don't know if I can watch it. Like a lot of things scare me, but it's like I've seen Saw and that he takes them and is trying to do a moral game with them in Saw. Is that not what he's trying to do, is justify their murders or justify their life, making them justify their own lives to themselves. Really, like he's God. He's playing God with them. But I mean, how many of those do you need? It's really gross. I don't know. Anyway, I might watch it. There's another one that's Stranger Things. You know what I was thinking? I thought you said Strangers. But yeah, Stranger Things is really, really good. Slenderman, I've heard it's really bad. I haven't. I'll be curious to know if anyone's seen it. Let me know. I was going to watch It Follows, so that might be the next one that I watch to see how that goes. I was curious about it when it came out just because it seemed so messed up. I'm going to read these first 3, and then if I don't know, these ones seem kind of stupid. Let me see how this next page, the first 3 are like, Secrets from the Mail Order Bride. Okay, so let's read this one and see if we want to find something else. Okay, this one is, my grandfather homesteaded in Western Canada around 1910, and after a few years of living alone in a sod hut, basically ordered a mail order bride from the U.S., a girl from the same national ethnic group as him. She moved to the wilds of Alberta without ever having met him, and they married and had a large family, including my mother and blah, blah, blah. Fast forward 90 years, and one of my siblings takes up genealogy as a hobby and starts poking around in family history and looking at birth dates, etc., and discovers that my mother's eldest sibling was born in Western Canada and only a couple of months after my grandmother arrived at the homestead. So it is likely that the lives of myself and dozens of my siblings and cousins and their children who now make up my large extended family were shaped because my grandmother came to Canada, probably to escape the shame of being an unwed mother. She left a rather civilized man in a Midwestern U.S. city to live in a little shack on the windswept prairies of Western Canada. I don't know. Probably need to find something else to read. Here's Darkest Secrets. Ooh. Okay, so here's 2 different ones. Ooh, yeah, we're going to skip these ones because they suck. Fright Night. I saw both Fright Nights. Oh no, what is this doing? Great. Buffering, looks like. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Looks like it's buffering. All right, let me see. You guys hear me okay? Oh, okay, good. That was a long pause. Yeah, Fright Night. There's an 80s version of Fright Night and a 2000, I think it's 7 or 8 version. No, maybe it's 2009 or 10 or something like that of Fright Night. Oh my, I love them both. I love them both. I think that the buildup of the original Fright Night is way scarier than the newer one, but the modern version of the vampire is way scarier. Like the more current one, oh my gosh, way scarier, smarter too. Oh no, that's okay. I just needed someone to let me know because on my end it looked like it was buffering. So I was like, great, no one can hear me, which shouldn't be the case. And that's a lot of times why I live stream during the day. That means that no one else is really using the Wi-Fi signal, so that shouldn't happen during the day, which is, why we're here. This one, we'll read the first one and see how this one is. 16 people reveal the dark secret they know about someone else, but will never tell. All right, let's see. I mean, this is, whoa, this is, he let his father die. Let me take a drink before I read this. Okay. I made the mistake of lighting incense in the room because I like the smell of it. It's vanilla, so it smells like burnt vanilla. But it really, like, even the mildest smoke can really mess up your voice when you're talking a lot. So I don't know how anyone who like smokes on a regular basis could be anyone who reads or speaks on a regular basis because it will really mess up your voice. Just an observation, not judging. Anyway, this one is titled He Let His Father Die. So I knew a guy I grew up with who was beat all the time by his on-off alcoholic lumberjack dad. One day, the dad died from some heart failure or whatnot, and when the cause of death report came out, it claimed he had been conscious after the incident had happened, before he had died. My friend had told the police that he had not been home, but had biked to a friend's house to see if he wanted to play basketball. I found out later at a party where we were drunk when I asked him how it had been to come home to a dead dad, that he had been home all the time and heard his dad scream and gasp in pain and fall over, but that he just stood there, first empty, then smiling as his dad withered in pain and slowly expired in unconsciousness and died. And then, only when my friend was certain his dad was not waking up again, called 911. Don't hit your kids and expect them to come through for you. Word. I don't think that's scary. I think that's poetic justice. So I'm not condoning that, but I can see why it would happen. Yeah. Thanks for coming, Lib Creeps. Hope you come back for another one. Let me know if you watch either of those movies. Let us know. See ya. Okay. Some of these are short, so I'll skip the really short ones. Ew. Not recent, but I used to be in Quake Clan with another guy. I don't even know what that means. We would play night and day. Lots of great matches, smack talk, conversations late in the night. Anyone know what Quake Clan is? Let me know. Maybe I'm just too fucking old to know what that means. Conversations late in the night. I found out one day from a mutual friend that his mother was dying of cancer, slowly and very painfully. That's what he was dealing with every day when he wasn't death matching. I never told him I knew. I figured sometimes you just need to escape from reality. Gaming was the one place where he could forget about his troubles and not have to think about them. If he wanted me to know, he would have told me. So instead, we just laughed a lot and talked about Quake, and I was happy to be there for him. Okay, that's it. Oh, this next one looks better. So sorry about that, everyone. Let's go to this one. So this one's titled Uncle Went to Jail to Protect Child. So this is another like poetic justice one. These don't even seem dark. These seem awesome. So the person knows I know, but I would never tell my family. When my cousin was 5 or 6, he was not part of our family yet. My uncle met his mom, and they fell in love and moved in with each other. My cousin was still with his dad, and my uncle and aunt were trying to get custody, but her ex was a very wealthy man. Apparently, he was also sexually abusing my cousin, but it was hard to prove, and her ex had some really good lawyers. My uncle wasn't a rich man, but they needed money for a lawyer and a special therapist for my cousin so they could win the case. He robbed his workplace for the cash to pay all the fees needed to get my cousin away from his dad. My uncle's work found out and had him arrested, and he had to go to jail for 2 years. He told my family and everyone that he got a job abroad and had to leave for a few years so that he could pay for my cousin's lawyers. Everyone in my family still thinks that he went abroad to pay cash, to make extra cash. Only me and his wife know that he was in jail. My cousin is very successful and well-adjusted, happy man. He doesn't really remember anything about living with his dad, thank God. My uncle says he'd do it all again 1,000 times if it meant my cousin growing up safe. Wow. Wow, that's brave, and that's awesome. That should be commended. That's awesome. This one's titled Those Candles Weren't for Lighting, apparently. So when I first got married, my sister-in-law was living with us. One day while she was at work, she called and asked that I email something from her laptop, from her desk, whatever, her computer. This was prior to texting and emailing on phones being so prevalent. So I used her laptop and her Outlook to send the attachment. I checked the send items to make sure it went through with the attachment and found an email she had sent to someone, a bunch of pictures of her with lit candles shoved up her ass. Ugh, I never said anything, but I had to start hiding all of our stick candles in fear she'd ass tip all my Yankees. That's not even scary. That's just hilarious. Oh my God. I might have to change this. Um, I'm gonna switch to another one. Yeah. This is 50 people confess their darkest family secrets. Well, the number one is one sentence, and it's someone saying that their mother was part of the Charles Manson's family. Whoa. Yeah, yikes. Look at checking the chat. Wait, what if you're that rich, why bother molesting? I'm confused by that. The more money people seem to have, the more untouchable they think that they are. And so they think that people are just pawns in their little chess game of life, that they can do whatever they want to, and they're untouchable. So maybe that's why. Because not only are they getting away with something gross, they know no one's not going to touch them because they've got too much money, and who's gonna go up against them? That seems like the most horrible, um, hopeless situation. And the fact that somebody went to such extremes to get someone out of it and not regret it and would do it again, even though they went to jail. That's amazing. Bye, Phantom Zone. Because he wasn't into hookers. He was apparently into kids. And who's to say he didn't keep getting kids? He probably bought them. Yeah. That's subjective, and we're delving into an area we have known nothing about. Yeah. Ugh. All right. This is number 2 of this. Mom was victimized by a Nazi kiddie porn ring. My mother was the subject of a child porn ring held by her biological uncle on her estranged father's side. Her stepfather was a huge Nazi sympathizer, stumbled upon photos of my uncle in Hitler youth garb. The abusers are no longer alive, but there's a reason. The moment she and my father had my older brother, she packed up and moved 3,000 miles away without a word. Whoa. Yikes. My mom named her firstborn son after a cult leader. I read a blog post about a cult in America, known for exploiting young and vulnerable women, where my uncle's wife is described as the leader's favorite girl. Nobody in my family knows she was a part of this cult, but I did some research into it. It turns out she named her firstborn son after the leader. What? That's so messed up. Blocker? A child blocker? I don't understand that. This is number 4. I am named after a stillborn baby my father had in a previous marriage. For the longest time, I thought I was named after my father. Found out a few years ago that I'm actually named after a stillborn baby that my father had in a previous marriage that was named after him. My mother named me after that baby, against my father's wishes. What the hell? People are crazy. Ew. This one's nasty, so I'm just letting you know in advance. I just read the first few words of the sentence, and it's going to be gross. So this number 5 says, my father says he would leave my mom to be with me. My father is sexually and romantically attracted to me and would leave my mom to be with me. He was an alcoholic, and I was in my sophomore year of college, and basically, he had always been a nudist, and as I grew older, I realized I was probably being sexually abused, just not at an extremely invasive level. So he was just drunk and naked and began masturbating and asked me to bring him tissues, and I threw the box in his face and went to my room. Then he just kind of told me that in an alternate world he would be with me, and he's attracted to me, but he understands it's wrong, and we've never spoken about it since. Why not? I would be telling everyone that. What a fucking freak. People pass over that stuff. So killers with mental illnesses are still killers, Bernadette. Yeah. I think most people that kill have a mental illness that's not identifiable yet. Ugh, that was nasty. Number 6 is my cousin. These are darkest family secrets. That's what this is. 50 people confess their darkest family secrets. Number 6, my cousin prostitutes herself in exchange for benzos. As of this past November, my cousin was prostituting herself to men she was meeting on various websites to fund her benzo addiction. I don't know if it's still going on or not, but it's pretty fucked up. Like, why wouldn't you? Oh my God. Number 7, Dad wanted to abort me. My dad wanted to abort me, but his college professor convinced him to let my mom have me. And I think he still regrets it. Number 8, Dad works in Las Vegas as a drag queen. When I was 13, my father came out as gay and is now happily married to a male and works in Las Vegas as a drag queen. That's a dark family secret. That seems like 1 out of 10 households now, isn't it? That doesn't seem that fucked up to me. that one with the that one was with the dad and the daughter. Gross. Like, I don't understand that. All right. Number 9, my mother murdered my brother. What? My mother murdered my brother a while back, and while no one else knows this, I was able to talk to the mortician and discovered that my brother had his neck slit by my mother and that he had bruises up and down his arms and face. Turned out to be defensive bruises from trying to block her stabbing him. I'm the only one. Oh my God. I'm the only one in my family to know. And I don't think anyone in the family could handle figuring that out, especially since it's been over 2 years now. What? Please tell me that she's in jail. My ex's father was repeatedly ass raped by his parents and their friends. I'm not even reading that. Moving on. These are just sad. Wow. Oh my God. Not gonna, if they're that bad, I'm not even gonna read them. Like, uh, my uncle shot a guy. Found out not too long ago that my uncle shot a guy, drug dealer, and did a lot of marijuana. He has some pictures of smoking weed with famous. I mean, how is that a dark family secret? Jesus Christ. I think people really need to. Why people are that stigmatized by marijuana still? Can you guys show me in the chat who still believes the crazy bullshit stuff that they tell you about marijuana? Why is it so stigmatized, but it's totally fine to drink and drive? Like, what? Yeah, if they're he shot it up. Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, my great grandfather survived Nazi Germany without ever realizing he's Jewish. I'm on number 15, by the way, because I'm skipping the nasty ones. Great grandfather was born the bastard son of a Jewish professor during a time in Germany you didn't really want to be Jewish. His mother raised him without ever telling him who his father was until her deathbed. That's just, I mean, okay. This one is my great grandfather killed 2 people, and this is a lengthy paragraph. So, my great grandfather killed 2 people, and the only person who knew was his wife and myself. I found out after he died, when I found his journal in the house. I was the only one really close to him because the family knew he killed his wife. That's the first thing. No one could prove it. And it was a mercy killing, as she had cancer and assisted suicide wasn't a thing. He was my grandfather, though, and I loved him. I was told not to spend time with him, but did. When he died, I was in his woodshed. He spent a lot of time out there whittling, and no one thought to check for valuables out there. The family gutted the house, and his son put it up for sale. Out in the woodshed was his journal in a toolbox. I read it from cover to cover. He was bullied for years by someone from another family, and he eventually drowned him in a creek and left him there. They found the body weeks later after it washed up elsewhere. They said it was a swimming accident. The journal said he told his wife, who then used this information to get him to kill her because she didn't want to live any longer, but couldn't get into heaven if she killed herself. The whole thing was so fucked up. I still love my grandfather, but goddamn. What? How do I stumble onto these crazy ass stories? That's insane. There's got to be a movie about that dude. Like, and he just lived his life totally normal, totally fine. Totally fine. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. There's a one sentence one where someone says, one of my cousins hired a hitman to murder his uncle. So I'm going to guess that something bad happened with that uncle. I'm trying to think of why else would you do that. Even if you do it for money, you're going to get caught anyway. Doesn't make any sense why people do shit like that for money. You know you're going to get caught. Who do you think they're going to look at first? Oh, goodness. All right. Let's see. My grandmother lied about having a brain tumor so she could get rid of her kids. What? I was helping my grandmother clean her attic and come across a box with old legal papers. I'm a nosy shit, so I take a break and read through them. Found a document adopting her 4 kids out to a family. Her reasoning? She had a fatal brain tumor. Thought this was weird, so I kept digging. Found another document where she took the family to court to get her kids back. Had to confess the brain tumor was a lie, and she did it because the man she was with didn't want kids. The reason she took the family to court to get her kids back? The adopted father was habitually molesting them, including my uncle. She apparently found out because my grandmother and her new man were living close enough that my mom ran away from her adoptive parents to my grandmother's house and told her everything. It's hard pretending that I don't know. Wow. What? Oh my God, these are so messed up. I mean, what's the difference? I don't understand the stigma with marijuana. So it's totally fine for people to drink and get liver disease and cirrhosis, drive drunk, destroy lives, but it's illegal to smoke weed. That's like not going to do any of that shit. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Have you ever watched any of the old classic marijuana ads that were like anti-marijuana? They're hilarious because they're so dumb. And it's really funny when that people still believe it. Um, Funny enough, my strange aunt's husband hired hitman on my immediate family. Why? Why would someone do that? Hey, Mike Perry, hello. Do you still have your rubber chicken and space helmet for sale? Say what? People say that marijuana is delicious. Are you going to say delicious? Somebody gave me an edible, and I like had half of it. I'm like, I don't feel anything. So then I ate the whole thing, and then I was just like laughed for like I think about 3 hours, and then it went away. So it was like a ease into it, ease out of it. I liked that much more. I will say that. Yeah. Charlie's Silver Panda. Hello. What do you mean? Do I still have my rubber chicken and space helmet for sale though, Mike Perry? I'm trying to figure it out, dude. Help me up. Oh, somebody must have their little kids back there. It's funny because there's a lot of space. Okay, we are on 50 people confess their darkest family secrets, and we've skipped some of them because some of them were really, really gross. I'm gonna skip ahead because I think we're gonna go to let's see. Okay, that one's not. That's just sad. Okay, number 24. Whoa. Okay, brace yourselves. It's not nasty. It's a dark secret though. My stepmom was a local porn star and a high-end prostitute. I grew up in a house that valued technology quite a bit. My dad always liked getting the newest, fastest computer and gadgets, etc. And as a result, I started using the internet at a pretty early age, roughly 5 or 6 and 94 or so. Despite my father's taste for technology, we lived more or less in squalor due to my parents getting divorced. Fast forward a few years, and my dad and stepmom have moved out of the crappy 2-bedroom apartment with 3 kids and somehow afforded a much larger house. I loved the internet and was a sexually curious individual from a very early age. So I remember searching for stuff on Alta Vista, Lycos, of course. I don't really know. Like boobs and vagina, and I can't really exactly recall what I'd searched for. But I ultimately came across a photo of a white woman with a very familiar hair having sex with a black man. I kept scrolling down and ultimately, to my horror, realized that the woman was actually my stepmom. She had become a local porn star and high-end prostitute where I lived at the time. They were destitute despite my father being a lawyer and had to do something. So she turned to sex work, and he helped to facilitate it. She would regularly go on business trips, and I knew before any of my other siblings did about what this really meant. Ultimately, this came to a head by way of a custody trial between my mother and my father. My mother is very religious and knew about the whole thing, and my father naturally lost, despite the fact that I wanted to live with him because my mother was a tad unstable at the time. My stepbrother doesn't know, but pretty much the rest of my family knows, but never talks about it. Wow. Wow. What do you guys think about that one? Let's see, Mike Perry. At the bottom of my garden lives a family of very nasty, vicious badgers. Is it okay to use a big stick to get them rid of them in self-defense? Badgers? I thought you weren't supposed to mess with badger. I was gonna say badgers. Don't tell me about it. I'm not one violence against animals. I mean, I would try to like find a way to get rid of them. There's like ammonia. You could use ammonia, like spray it around there because most animals don't like that. But I will say that we've had a large groundhog hog or mole or beaver or something that keeps going under our shed, which is like it's not really a shed. I think you could make it in one of those she sheds. So I mean, if we just opened the doors and took like the lawn gardening stuff out of there, but it has found a way to burrow a hole under there, and it's really pissing off my husband. I think he finally got rid of them, but we put everything down there. Last time we put bleach down there, and I think that really chased him out. Although I'm not a fan of killing animals like that. I don't want them to destroy our property, but I'd like to like get them away somehow. So I would try ammonia or things that smell, like they wouldn't like. Try that. Also, don't go to badgers are evil, man. Yeah. Schmeister, the high-end ones are very choosy and a lot more careful with their clients, so I hear. Yeah. So have you heard about that, Schmeister? Tell us more about that. I think that when your family is destitute, you got to do what you got to do, and since no one's gonna no one's gonna hand you shit, I don't think anybody gets to judge anybody about any way that they make their money, unless, of course, that involves stealing people and selling them or murdering people for money. So if it's not hurting someone else and you're paying your bills because you have to do something, then I'm sorry, hats off to you for finding a way to fucking do it. Yep, you're in Europe. Prostitution is legal, yes? Is it not? Or it's a gray area. There are countries where it's like you actually get to claim it on your taxes. Like if they did that, they'd probably eliminate the human trafficking aspect, but I don't know anyone who would personally go into that as a career just because of the gross factor. But people got to do what they got to do. Number 25, right after that one, is titled My Mother is a Notorious Whore. Okay. I don't know what that means, which is the first sentence. I could go into details about that, but to be on point about this particular case, it was simple. She had sex with him, but he was married and had his own kid. In order to be taken care of, my mother told the man I thought was my biological father that she was pregnant. He married her. So my biological father is a falsely convicted felon, and I have a sister? We talk frequently and have been trying to find a way to overturn his ruling ever since. What? We did do a blood test and have confirmed without a shadow of a doubt that he's my father, and she is my half-sibling. I've confronted my mother about this, but she denies it, even with me presenting the test details. The man who raised me, who was apparently my uncle and not my father, doesn't know, as that would absolutely devastate him. We decided to keep this a family secret between me, my sister, and my real father and my lying whore of a mother. Wow. I don't really understand the whole person being in jail because they skipped that part, but we all know these people are not authors, so whatever. Checking the chat. Loopholes, yeah. So, Amsterdam. I've heard wonderful things about Amsterdam. Especially, like, I've heard glorious stories about weed. Tell me the stories. Going back to the reading here. 26 is short, but then 27 is a little bit longer, thank God. Ew. 26 is my grandmother was getting death threats from the Taliban. My gran had to move from England to Pakistan because she kept receiving death threats from the Taliban. Because apparently being an actress is a sin and you need to be murdered for it. I'm pretty sure nobody's supposed to know this besides my parents and her. What? I've heard that. I've heard there's actually been women that have been murdered for that too. And they were trying to justify it even on the news there. That, yeah. So anyone who is anti-feminist needs to reevaluate. I'm going to have a whole discussion on feminism one day. I'm going to blow the lid off that shit. 8 people watching now. Wow. Must have bored the shit out of a bunch of people. Number 27. My cousin willingly castrated himself in an effort to hide his transgender urges from his radical Baptist parents. Wow. Oh my God. When we were growing up, he was the star of the football team, a state wrestling champ, and super popular. He was so good at sports that my aunt and uncle pulled him from private Baptist school and put him in public school. He then went into the army. When he came back home, he revealed to me that had always stolen my thongs and bras when we were young, which I always blamed on my little brother's perv best friend. He said he had a gay lover in the army and was confused about his sexuality. He became extremely depressed and an alcoholic, and I couldn't help him because he wouldn't let me. Suddenly, he was engaged to a girl he went to school with. I talked to both of them to find out how the relationship was going to work and to make sure she knew the seriousness of what she was getting into. She knew and supported him. She helped him go shopping for women's clothing and allowed him to have lovers while maintaining a friendship and a front for his family. They got married, had a little girl, and everything seemed fine. He decided to get castrated because he wanted to stop his urges because even with his wife's and friends' support, he felt terrible about hiding it from his family. He wanted to be normal. It was a drastic decision, but I supported him in his plight to be happy. And now there's an even bigger secret. His wife has had a boyfriend who's gotten her pregnant. My cousin enjoys the humiliation and being emasculated, but I don't think he counted on this happening. A few people in my family now know, and have all kept it from his parents. We have no idea how they're going to raise this new baby and how open they are with their 3-year-old. I'm very afraid that one day their daughter is going to tell his parents about her mom's boyfriend and think this is a completely normal thing. Also, if anyone is feeling grated that I used he instead of she, it is because he doesn't always identify as female. His sexuality is pretty undefined or fluid. What? I mean, I don't think that castrating yourself isn't doing, that's not the same thing. Sometimes people write about things and they don't know what they're talking about. Castration is, well, you know what it is. Mm-hmm. Not good. That whole story didn't make sense, and that someone like that completely is uneducating people on sexual identity. That doesn't even make any sense. Castration doesn't make someone reassign their sexual. That's not gender reassignment. That is mutilating yourself in an effort to suppress your own mental issues, and that person probably that needs therapy, not anything surgical. That's castrating yourself so you won't be yourself. So basically, you're hurting yourself so you won't be yourself. That's not healthy in any way whatsoever, but I'm not here to judge. But what he wrote is not correct. Just saying. Anyway. 9 watching now. Okay. Crazy. This is crazy. All right. My uncle brutally tortured a cousin who raped his sister. My late uncle tortured. I didn't know all of these would be sexually oriented, by the way. It seems like most of them are, but I don't know why these horrible things are such a secret. This is why these things, people don't report them, because people like want to suppress it because they don't want to be uncomfortable and face the facts that people are just awful. And then they go on and they hurt more people, and I don't know. Jesus Christ. Anyway, my late uncle tortured and mutilated the adult cousin who repeatedly raped his 9-year-old sister. He purposely kept from killing him, cauterizing his wounds so he wouldn't bleed out, and so the scarring wouldn't be repairable. He made very sure that he'd never be able to rape another child. My uncle passed away a few years later. The cousin underwent a ton of surgeries, but none of them could really fix the scarring or mutilation. Last I heard, he was still in hiding overseas. I see his mom from time to time. 40 years later, she still blames the victim for her son's injuries. The victim, by the way, grew up to be an advocate for DV and abuse victims. Wow. That's like blaming the other woman because the man was a whore. No. Nope. Yeah, people are what they are, and people won't be suppressed by someone else's lack of being comfortable with that or lack of being knowledgeable of that. I don't think it's anything new. I think it's something that's been suppressed forever. The fact that people feel differently about themselves isn't new, but people don't want to be suppressed by the fact that other people are uncomfortable about that anymore. So people are like, you know what, if you don't like it, fuck you. So people are finally like not afraid of being themselves anymore. So it's not new. Just to be clear about that. People feeling different in their bodies isn't new. It's not new information. People accepting it is new information. People not suppressing it anymore is new information. Let's get that clear right now. His uncle is the Punisher? Yeah. My whole stance on gender is be who you are and no one can judge you. No one has the right to judge anybody anyway. Bible thumpers can kiss my ass and can leave my chat right now if that's what you're doing. If there's anyone that ever listens to me and you can't handle the fact that I'm not going to put up with you suppressing people, bye. I just can't handle it. People I used to get upset when they leave hate comments, or for a little while I'd comment on them. Sometimes I'll pin them so other people can see how awful they are. But mainly I just delete them because I don't want to perpetuate negativity. And that's totally different from dark and scary things. People misguide that. People also confuse the fact that because I like scary things that I'm pro murder, that I'm okay with that. That I like, I'm a vegetarian. I very rarely eat meat. And often when I do, I feel very sick afterwards. My husband knows this. Like, we had veggie burgers last night for dinner, and he's fine with it. There's many ways to get protein, but that's besides the point. But anyone who wants to perpetuate negativity on my channel, I just block them. I don't need to, people are like, well, views are views and likes are likes. But, I just don't want that negativity. I don't want to spread it. I don't want to perpetuate it. I don't need it. There's so many trolls on the internet that just come after people nonstop. I'm just not going to feed into it. Like, you just won't be allowed to come to my channel. It's simple. You can make another account and you can say something else rude, but you're just going to get blocked every time. So I just don't have time for it. I put a lot of effort into stuff and people come to listen and enjoy. And I don't want other people to get upset either. So if anybody insults someone else, they're probably going to be gone too. Because I just don't have time for that. Yeah, there isn't time for it. We are here like in a blink of an eye. So short. Chulu, we are born to die. Oh my God. All right. Ooh, this one is finally one where someone didn't murder someone. Oh my, no. Well, let's go into it. I like this better though when I don't know what the stories are going to be before you guys do. But maybe sometimes I should probably read one before you guys so that you don't get disappointed by what I find. Anyways, number 29. And I've skipped a lot of them because they were just nasty or just not good. My uncle was a snitch. My uncle snitched on a Youngstown kingpin. My whole family is or has been involved in some sort of criminal enterprise for around 3 generations. Growing up, we learned fast never to speak of family matters to strangers and definitely never to police. Back in the mid-90s, my uncle was driving drugs all over the East Coast and got hit in Virginia with 15 keys of coke. DEA had tracked him from a pickup in Florida to Ohio once and had a video of both the pickup and the delivery. They offered him 8 years if he gave the man that they wanted, and he did it rather than the life sentence. He would have had a federal and max. Whoa. I'll skip the next one because it's just sad. It's not even gross, it's just sad. And I don't know if I guess the darkest family secret is subjective. Like some of these are obviously super fucked up. But to some people that don't live a very fucked up life, that hear like one mildly awful thing, that's their darkest family secret. It seems like vanilla frosting on vanilla cake to me. You know? You still eat it, but I don't know, it's not that good. Unless it's like the high-end vanilla on the high-end cake. Maybe that's good. I don't know. Is it live still? I can't tell sometimes. Yep, okay. Sometimes I have to forward my little button on here so I can see the red live button on here. Okay. Oh, this is just awful. I'm going to skip it because it's mean. We're on number 34 now we're going into. 2 months ago today, my father, 52, killed himself. The day before he ended his life, I had seen him, and even though he wasn't in the best spot in life, we were working on making things better for the future for him, my 4 younger siblings, and myself, who was 19, they say. When I got the news of his death, I immediately went and visited his home where my stepmother and 2 younger half-siblings lived with him. While there, I found out that my stepmother had accidentally wiped his cell phone after his death, trying to get into it. While leaving, I took his computer to look through it to see if I could find anything that would give a lead as to why he ended his life. He had his phone syncing with Google Voice, so I could see all his text messages and whereabouts as they were backed up with Google. During my investigation, I found exactly what caused him to kill himself. It was a text from my stepmother that wasn't meant to be sent to him. She doesn't know that I know why she wiped his phone or that she was the one that caused him to kill himself. I have yet to go after her legally, but I am in preparation of doing so. The message read, "He has not been served yet. I don't know what to do. He's in the office with Jay," my youngest brother of 13, fixing his office chair. That was the last message he received. The being served part was in reference to a divorce and restraining order she filed on him. He knew she filed, but had been told that was going to be pushed back and potentially thrown out. He did nothing wrong to have her initiate a divorce or a restraining order from his 2 kids. I believe it ultimately devastated him after going through a very nasty divorce with my mother because of what my stepmother did many years ago and caused him to act the way he did. He lost all hope, and I believe it was because she ruined his first marriage, tried to take his kids away, and broke his heart. Wow, that's sad. I'm sorry I read that. Wow. Need some food. Get some food to come back. God knows how much longer I'm going to read anyway. This one is about someone who was repeatedly raped by her father for 7 years. I'm not going to read it because it's just sad. It's not scary. It's just sad. And I'm not glazing over that because it's awful. But that's not why we're here right now. Oh, I'm scanning through to make sure they don't suck before I read them to you now. Ew. God damn. These can make you lose hope in humanity. Jesus. Number 41. My great-grandfather was a Yugoslavian immigrant in the 1930s. He became a detective in Gary, Indiana. Now, I've heard that that's one of the most dangerous places to go if no one else has. You guys let me know if you know about that. Let me see here. Stories I hear from family members is that he was an incredibly cruel and corrupt cop and detective with a very racist streak in him. He was known for taking African Americans that caused petty crimes, stripping them naked with their arms tied behind their backs and a broom handle through his arms, and dumping them at the Indiana-Illinois border in the middle of the night. I've heard some other rather disturbing stories where he killed people in the line of duty, although under very shady circumstances. If there's some interest, I can try to get more stories. Okay, these are, I don't know where these are from. So I don't know. Huh. Wow. This one's fucked up. And it's odd. Oh my God. Did anybody else remember that today? I mean, I didn't forget, but I was kind of glazing over it. But it's September the 11th, and the next story is about September the 11th. Is that not weird? Anyone else think that's crazy? Wow. Damn Gypsy, leave us some book titles in there. Like, what ones do you recommend? I want to know about the Ed and Lorraine stories. Okay, number 42 is about 9/11. And it says, my ex-husband is bleeding New York City taxpayers of millions. This was before 9/11. Okay, so never mind. I was wrong. Oh, no. No, it has something to do with it. So maybe it'll get some attention and maybe he'll get caught. It doesn't have any names in it, but I don't think it would be hard to go back and trace who this is. So this was before 9/11. My ex-husband was an NYPD detective, but he abused his authority. So the PD took his detective shield away and put him back on patrol in uniform in Brooklyn. After he got demoted, he hated going to work, but he had no choice. He was also playing hockey in a men's league. One day he fell on the ice playing hockey and suffered a herniated disc in his back. He dragged himself to work the next day and hid his injury. He was in his patrol car and was called to a house for domestic disturbance. This was in the winter, and there was a lot of ice in the driveway. He got out of the car and pretended to slip on the ice. He told his partner that he couldn't move, and they ended up taking him to the hospital in the ambulance. He claimed that he was injured on the job and was retired with full disability in his 30s. After about a year, his back got better, and he was showing very little signs of his injury. We moved to another state because he was paranoid that if the NYPD found out that he wasn't disabled as he claimed to be, he would lose his pension. He gets 75% of his pay and full medical and dental benefits for life tax-free, courtesy of the taxpayers of New York City. After we moved across the country, he told all our new neighbors that he was retired from the NYPD because he got hurt saving people from the World Trade Center during 9/11. He was never at ground zero. He was already retired when 9/11 happened. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit, man. Who does that? Wow. Wow. Graveyard and Satan's Harvest. Lingering is despicable. Story in Sky, are you with me right now? Like, are you current with the live stream or did you start at the beginning? Because I don't know what malingering is. I mean, I'm drawing a blank here, and I don't know which story you're referring to anyway. Coincidences. Okay, yeah. It's like 7 of them. I totally believe. I'm only on book 4. Yeah. I will say another movie that really scared the shit out of me was the first Annabelle, and most of the movie wasn't that scary. It was really, really good. But there's a scene, and you've all seen Annabelle by now, right? Like, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. You've all seen it. At this point, if you haven't seen Annabelle, you should probably watch it, because even if I say this part, it's not going to scare you as much as watching the scene. Because most of the movie's fucking scary anyway. It's pretty good. But But there's a scene when they move to the apartment building and she goes down to the it's like basement, but it's got like the storage unit things in it. And she was going to get something. I don't know if she was doing laundry or she's going down to get the stroller or putting the stroller down there. But like the demon walks out of the shadows and it's completely dark, like it's pitch black. And it like that part of that scared the bejesus out of me, and I don't know why. And then the part where it was, oh my god, it just gets better and better. Oh yeah, that is awful. Seems to be an epidemic currently. Um, no, that's not. That's Annabelle. That's Annabelle. The Conjuring is when they're in the house in the country. They're all related though. That's what the Nun is going to lead up to. There's Annabelle 2, and then the Conjuring, but they all have and Lorraine Warren, I think. Wait, no, they're not in Annabelle, are they? They're not in the first one, are they? I don't think they are. Um, which is weird because it's all connected. But I just watched The Conjuring 2. I think we watched it 3 weeks ago, and it was really rainy and stormy that day too, which was really ironic. Um, but that was really good. That was really, really good. We were gonna go Sunday night, but we ended up doing some school shopping with my stepkids, and my dog had been left alone for too long, and I didn't want to come home and then go back out to the movies. I'm just not a big fan of leaving her alone all the time. I feel like she's a little kid with fur that doesn't understand why all of a sudden she's at home by herself. So I think we need to get another friend for her because she's super lonely now that her twin had passed away in June. I'm just not sure how to introduce that element because she's either terrified of other dogs or really interested in them, and I don't know how she's going to be around them because her sister was very dominant and she is not. So I don't know. I don't want her to be lonely when we're not home. So, yeah, I love a movie that scares me right off the bat and scares me all the way through. But my husband will laugh at me because I'll be the one that's be like, no, 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 no. Yeah, that's what I was pretty sure I was gonna do with the Nun too. So I probably need to go to a showing that's empty, so I can just be my glorious, embarrassing self. Didn't me and Autumn were telling you how to do that before? You need some sea salt. You need and you know what a book of shadows is? Bernadette, we're gonna me and you and Autumn can are you on Twitter at all, Bernadette? And Autumn? Need a way to talk outside of here about that. So you did see the Nun. Scary, but it goes deeper. The Nun. The Nun goes deeper. Mm. Videos watching real army men own them. Liars. What? Oh. I've also seen you guys have probably all seen the video of the lady and the guy, there's a veteran, I think it was McDonald's, it's a fast food place, and he's asking if they have a veterans discount. And then this lady who's waiting for in line to get something, or she's waiting in line to get her, she's like, you're disgusting. You think you deserve a handout just because this. And I'm thinking, if anyone deserves a handout, it's somebody who's been put through the ringer and then supposed to come back here and live a normal life. Like, how are you supposed to do that? I don't think that anyone who's been through a war should have to go back to their normal lives and have to take up a job somewhere. Like, if you served in a war, you should be provided for the rest of your life because you sacrificed everything to help a political agenda that you had nothing to do or contribute to. You were just doing what you were told to save everybody else's ass. You shouldn't have to come back and go back to some regular shit job. But again, I digress. Everyone has their own opinion. But the lady was going on and on about how he shouldn't get a discount just because he was in an army. And someone else stepped up and offered to pay for his food. And then the lady's like, you know what? I'm not even hungry anymore. I'm thinking, good. Because I think you probably ate your own foot just now. All right. Get Twitter, Internet, and we can help you. Do you believe you can conjure up bad stuff if you talk about it too much? I believe if you put too much weight into anything and perpetuate it mentally over and over and over and over and over again, anything bad or anything good can start to develop in your life, for sure. Like if I feel like this probably sounds crazy, but who cares? If I'm watching something where I feel like, it doesn't matter if it's true or not, you can feel something bad trying to seep into your life. You can feel it. You can feel it in your arms. You can feel it in your gut. Trust your gut. I literally, and that's to each his own, but I put a little like, I'll use parenthesis fingers here, shield around whatever device it's coming from, because I think that it's possible that spirit can find a bad, good or bad, can find a way into your life in any means necessary. And if you can feel that, stop it, block it. You're the one that's in control of your soul and spirit and everything. You block it, get it out. Take control of your aura and your area. It's yours. Yeah, and it's a huge don't understand how military vets are left impoverished after. Yeah, and it's an enormous problem in America. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but it's an enormous problem here. And people get treated like dirt. And a lot of them are homeless, and that doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. That should never exist. That's something that should never even fucking exist. Oh, you're out of war? Here's keys to your house. Done. Like, why is that even an issue? That's crazy. Politics can get me riled up because I feel like people came to America to escape political oppression. And our government was started with volunteers that didn't get paid a goddamn thing. And yet now they're at celebrity status where they're walking the red carpet because they think they're so fucking awesome. You're supposed to serve the people, and they've all forgotten that. And yet now they've pitted people against people against people, and all the people have forgotten the fact that it's not people against people, and it shouldn't be people against government. We're all supposed to be helping each other. And I don't know how it got so fucking turned around. I don't know how it can be fixed either, because it seems like people see it happening and they don't give a shit, and some of them cheer it on. It's gross. But I don't want to go into politics anymore because and I don't give a shit if people like what I have to say or not. It just really gets me upset. Like my blood pressure is boiling. Like, whoo, my blood is boiling. YouTube mom told me because I watch all YouTube stuff, I'm asking for it. Huh? YouTube mom told me because I watch all the YouTube stuff. Huh? Bernadette, if you still have it, please hit me up. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, the government started as a volunteer position that didn't get paid anything. And that's exactly what it should be now. So then you'll really see who's going to serve the people and who's not. And then you can get back to the public service or public safety budget and actually train officers the correct way. And you can stop some of the violence that's happening, not only within police departments, but also within communities by doing so. But honestly, you could eliminate a lot of stuff by just doing what's right. And everybody seems to be kind of lost. And it's confusing to me. It's not confusing to do the right thing, but it seems to be confusing for the masses. And I don't understand that. That's confusing to me, okay? Yeah, what's up for money only goes so far. There's I was watching is it on Pinterest? Maybe it was on Pinterest, so I wasn't watching, I was digging it, but people are always saying, money can't buy happiness. And people are like, well, let's see. Money can provide food and clothing and shelter and new experiences and provide for your family and make sure you can go to the doctor. So yeah, sounds a lot like fucking happiness to me. But I think it's the love of money that makes people corrupt. Because if you've seen anyone who's a good person who has money and a bad person who has money and the difference in how they live their lives, then you'll know the difference between people who love people and people who love money. So there's a deep no way. I'd be assassinated because people just they want their own agendas. If someone's in a position that's supposed to be a volunteer position without pay, and people are like, no, take my money, do what I tell you to do, say what I want you to say, and someone's like, no, boom, they're not going to make it very long. Someone asked Oprah whether you like her or not. I don't give a shit. um Someone asked Oprah one time if she would run for president, and she said absolutely not, because I have way more power where I'm at. And hats off to her. She is definitely a rags to riches story. And I know that there's been like mixed things about her, like not liking white people, which I mean, there's been all kinds of rumors about all kinds of people all over the planet. So my theory is, um, unless you know firsthand, I don't think you should believe any kind of rumors, but that's it's hearsay until you're there. But what do you guys think about Nike? I want to know what you guys think about Nike. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. So everyone said that Kaepernick was disrespecting our flag. And that wasn't the entire point of him doing it. The point was him to draw attention to the mistreatment of African Americans in police scenarios or in the justice system. Um, and while I believe that draws attention, when you've got power and money, contribute something to the legal funds of those who are disadvantaged and actually going through the scenarios. Whether he's done that or not, I don't know. But people are burning the things and saying, I'm not going to support Nike. I'll give you a real reason not to support Nike. Kaepernick or not, Nike pays women 25 cents a fucking hour to make their shoes. So if you're going to boycott a company, boycott them because of slave labor. Okay? I hope everybody fucking hears that. If you're going to boycott for the right reason. And at the end of the day, Nike made more money from the free publicity of the bullshit than anything else. Didn't give those ladies a raise, though, did they? Fucking disgusting. And the majority of people actually do care about taking care of others, but that majority also aren't the ones with money. And so, they can only do so much because they still, at the end of the day, have to put a roof on their own head. And there's only so much someone can do when they don't have anything to give. That's what I just said. The reason, they like the NRA, everyone says that they contribute to campaigns to get politicians to say what they want them to say. And if you're not, if you're in a volunteer position where you refuse to take a dime of money to say any specific thing, then you're not going to be around very long in these current times as they stand right now, because it is all about the money and that controls everything. That's why. I'll support a good shoe company. That's nice, you guys. I wish there was a way to support the people that are, in the shadows of the whole scenario when they're making 25 cents an hour busting their ass. And the cheap Walmart shoes are probably made by the same fucking people. So it's not It's not whether you can, you're supporting Walmart or Nike. It's about finding out where your shit comes from. You know what I mean? I'll pay a good chunk of money if I know it came from the United States, paid made by someone who makes a decent living making the things. I'm gladly do that. I would more than happily do that. If anybody knows of companies that do that, please share them. Please share them. They just take it either way. Yeah, and that's awful. That's awful. I don't know. I'd love to know more about it though. I should dive into it. Totally got off track though, didn't we? Squirrel. Oh my God. Number 43. This says my dad fought in the Soviet-Afghan War and has a large number of journals he wrote in while there. Reading some of them in secret growing up made me find out some things about my dad. He wasn't a truck mechanic like he always told us. He was a sharpshooter, and apparently a damn good one. He killed 3 Afghans while they were asleep. So here it goes, his squad was on patrol apparently, and he stepped off into the bushes to take a leak and happened upon 3 Afghan that were asleep. Not wanting to wake them, he apparently stabbed 2 with his bayonet and realized this took too much effort. Smashed the 3rd one in the head with his entrenching tool. He then rejoined his patrol and didn't mention what he had come across or done to anyone else. What? Oh, okay. Have to skip 43 and 45. Somebody just sent me a message that you probably heard. Oh, it was Autumn following me on Twitter. Hello, Autumn. That's funny. See if there's anything else here. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Okay, have to skip 46 too. Oh no. Okay, 47 I have to go to because goddamn, I have to skip all those. My father is not really my father. I'm almost 100% confident that my father is not my biological father. They hung the birth certificates of my 2 younger brothers, not mine. I asked about it. Parents said they let somebody borrow it and they never got it back. Well, that's bullshit because you can get another one. I was digging through old things and found a letter written to me for my first birthday. I can't remember word for word what it said, but it effectively said, I'm proud to be your father and will always love you. But it was signed Nick. I don't know an adult Nick in my whole life. My uncle on my dad's side looks a hell of a lot like me. That's probably paranoia, though, and his name isn't Nick. The aforementioned uncle killed a guy, got into a fight with someone in college, beat the shit out of him, and the guy died. My grandfather is a lawyer and somehow got him out of it. Uncle is now a minister. Oh, I was by my dad when I was younger, and both of us acted like it never happened. Oh, no. Then that went horribly wrong. Okay. Okay, that one's bad too. Okay, that one's bad too. Okay, almost all of those involved an element of rape, so that's just not not good. I will share something that I watched yesterday that I think was really, really important, and it was I think I'd seen a couple of this guy's videos, but he was talking about how he was letting people know that he has a problem with depression, which I think is hugely important. And he didn't monetize his videos, and he was talking about how often he had tried to hurt himself. I'm gonna post a link, and then I'll try and post a link in the comment section too when this is over. I'm trying to go back to last night when I watched it because it was so good. It was, um, man, it was heartbreaking, but it was really important. I'm gonna pause it. Sorry. I want to make sure people have access to this. Make sure I do this. Copy and paste. I'm gonna put it in the comment section too if I can. I don't know if I can yet or not. But yeah, let's see. Autumn Squirrel. Wigs are a good solid American shoe company, but their shoes cost 6 arms and a leg. Red Wings. Oh, yeah, they are, and they will work on your shoes forever. Um, those are good. That's a good point. Um, those are mainly like men's shoes, though. Do they sell women's shoes? I haven't really looked into that because I just assumed, and I shouldn't assume anything because don't like to be called an ass by myself. But I was pretty sure they only do like men's shoes and men's work boots. So if they do like women's shoes, that'd be great too. Um, but I'd rather pay more for something that number one I know is going to last, and number two I know it was on the up and up. They were created by someone who makes money, and it's a legit company that stands by their product, and it's not about the hype. And it seems like whatever's trending is hype. Hype is trending. Trending is hype. It's so fucking stupid. People are so shallow, and it's not just kids. It's not. It's full grown ass adults. And I'll use that term very loosely. People that have been conditioned to want something right now, and they're going to put it on their credit card, and doesn't matter if they have the cash for it, right? I just don't understand it. I feel like I'm in a sea of crazy people. I'm going to need everybody to check out Be Our Guest at around 9 p.m. tonight. Why? What is that? Are you on the channel? Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest. I'm going to look it up. So you better tell me. Is that a channel? Be Our Guest. All it's taking me to is the Beauty and Beast song, Be Our Guest. So you might want to share the link. Yeah, it's hard for me to look stuff up unless I've got a link because it's not taking me to anything but the Beauty and the Beast. Let me see. I see a picture of a guy and a girl. Be Our Guest. Is that right? Hello? Can you hear me? Not seeing a response, dude. What's going to be on Be Our Guest at 9? Am I still here? Can you still hear me? Yes to what? Oh, God. The delay in the chat is so frustrating because the people respond to something that I said 5 minutes ago, and then I can't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. It's terrible. Yes, yes. Okay, Evil Satyr. Can you leave the link and tell us why you need people to look at that at 9 p.m. tonight? Proceed with your answers, please. Let's go, because I only see a guy and a girl in the Be Our Guest thing. So if that's not the right one, they have 36,000 subscribers. Is that the right channel you're talking about? Oh my God. Okay. Not seeing a response from Evil Satyr. I'm not really sure why either. Okay. A live stream talking about the bad shit on YouTube. I can't leave a link. I'm on mobile. Okay. Is that the right channel though? Do they have 36,000 subscribers? Okay. I don't know what is going on with my thing right now. It's acting so weird. Okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I've had too much caffeine today. Sitting still is like, yeah. Okay, it looks like they mainly live stream. And I don't know what bad shit's going on YouTube. All kinds of bad shit's going on YouTube. They're demonetizing channels, and basically YouTube's been shooting itself in the foot for a while. So doesn't make any sense. The bad shit on YouTube could be anything. So what bad shit on YouTube are they talking about? Because I'm just not a fan of perpetuating any kind of drama. YouTube refuses to give legitimate answers to anything that they do and will continue to do so until probably they're on the verge of bankruptcy. Yeah. Can anybody in the chat let me know if you've personally ever tried YouTube Red or been tempted to or currently do subscribe to YouTube Red? Can you let me know this? Because I think that's what they wanted to do, which I originally thought that would be great for us small channels because then we would get exposed to millions of people through YouTube Red. But I feel like it was a method for them to try and eliminate everything small that wasn't serving them a bigger purpose of cashing in. And then they just wanted all these like little kids shows and then these ding dongs that like to play pranks on people. I don't know. Just child molestation and death threats. The police have been called. Huh? Okay. YouTube Red is dope. So if you pay like so much money a month to YouTube, do you get everything that they have for free or do you have to pay more to watch other things? Anyone? I really wish they'd eliminate the delay in the chat. So I have one person that doesn't want to pay for it, one person that loves it, and one person that hasn't subscribed to it yet. Sometimes I'll go through my analytics and see where I've earned money, and I use that term very loosely because it's probably like a tenth of a penny from YouTube Red. Like it'll give a dollar amount, but dude, they take fucking 90% of that probably. It takes months. Like one time I had a payout from YouTube, and that was after 2 years. You have to have so many subscribers, and it's not even the subscribers, it's the views. And so every time like someone watches and they don't share and they don't tell someone or that YouTube's never going to spread word about me because they don't want horror channels or true crime channels to flourish. They want it gone. And so I want penny tenth. I want a penny tenth. No, if you're on YouTube, you're part of it. That's just the thing. So if someone has YouTube Red, like Evil Satyr, comes to my channel and watches, that shows me that I have YouTube Red at revenue. Or if someone that doesn't have YouTube Red that comes to my channel, it shows me regular ad revenue. It breaks it down for me so I can see what percentage I have from where, which again is nothing. But whatever. You know, it's frustrating because you see people that are absolute jackholes that make millions of dollars from just being jackholes. It's frustrating in that aspect. I wouldn't expect anybody to come and be like, "Oh my God, stories that suck. I can't wait to pay for this." Like, no. What I would really like to ever happen, like if anyone were ever to ask me what I would like to see come from my channel, is maybe there would be a solution for anything that we ever talk about. Did it help someone? Great. Did it help solve a problem somewhere? Great. Did it help me finally find a career I never knew I could have or be in? Great. Yeah, that would be great too for it to actually benefit my life in some way. But if I'm benefiting your life in some way, then I'm already grateful for that. Let's see. Dee Dee, I think I found you on Twitter. Logan Paul. Hey, Creeper. How you go? How's it? Oh, my dog hears someone here. I probably. Uh-oh. I won't be on here much longer. I will tell you this. Last week, some man in broad daylight walked up to our house, like pulled his truck over and blocking our driveway with the trailer because my husband's a plumber, in case anyone didn't know that. And sometimes they take out water heaters. And sometimes he has to bring it home and then put it out in our trash. Well, he had taken it out of his work truck and sat it in front of our garage. And this man in broad daylight walked up to our house. And I'm yelling at him through the window, asking why this strange looking man is walking up to my house in broad daylight. And he was asking what we were going to do with it. And I said, well, if my husband wants to get rid of it, he'll put it out at the trash. But then I thought that was kind of scary because the week before that, my husband had his bike stolen from the side of our garage. So now, understandably, I'm wound a little tighter during the middle of the day because who does that? But again, who does half the crap that we read about on here, right? Oh my God. So my dog barks at something that sounds like it's someone here. It's a little nerve-wracking. Ooh, a new project. Creeper is the one that did Rapture in Reverse. And it seems like I had another one. You gave me another one to read that's in my folder of stories to be narrated still. I like Duchess. She's liked by me for certain reasons that make me like her. Yeah. You know, a funny thing is I'm not scared of someone trying to break into my house. I actually am one of those people that I'm an idiot that goes toward things that freak me out. I just don't like having to be that person. I don't like that someone's going to put me in the position where I have to hurt them. That pisses me off. And it also pisses me off that someone freely feels the need to walk right into my fucking yard and my driveway in the middle of the day like it's totally fine. So they got to pass that time with me asking what the fuck they were doing. And the next time, I guess I have to be a bigger bitch. That's all. But yeah, it does sound like casing to me too. Doesn't help the fact that the house next to us has been empty for a while now. So it makes us feel like extra kind of creeped out. I mean, it's not far enough away for us to not notice if someone's going in and out of it. I notice everything. It doesn't do you good when the house next to you is empty for a while. Everyone's pretty aware of that, right? If you've had a house next to you empty for a while, it attracts people. People start watching it so they can go in and take stuff from it when no one's around. But I mean, that would be kind of impossible because I'm always here. Anyways, I'm going to be wrapping this up because I've been on here for... Oh, you don't have YouTube Red anymore, Evil Satyr? Okay. Creeper, I've been on here since noonish, so we're wrapping it up. But yeah. Just going back through the comments, see if I missed anything. Logan Paul, oh God, don't get me started. People love idiots. Maybe I should just walk around and act like an idiot and see what happens. I'm just joking. I can't even pretend like that's okay. All right. Yep, and I am wrapping it up. So I am gonna say because I'm getting distracted. I have like 1,000 things running through my head and a lot of caffeine. So I'm gonna not drink any more caffeine today. And hopefully find something better for you guys to hear from me. I'm not doing a live stream on Thursday afternoon because I have an appointment that will kind of interfere with that time frame. So maybe Friday night. I know that Friday or Saturday we want to go into the graveyards that we found that we can actually go into because they're kind of like older. Like no one that passes away in the next few days would be buried there. They're full, they're older, and they're out in the middle of nowhere, kind of. So just curiosity has got us it's got our attention. So we're gonna venture in there and see what happens. So that'll be interesting. And Bernadette, yeah, me and Autumn will get a hold of you. Autumn already found me on Twitter, so hopefully we can find you together. So, and on that note, I'm going to say thank you for coming and watching and nice supporting the channel and letting me rant and say whatever crazy shit comes out of my mouth. And that's not even the half of it. You don't even know. I do want to start another. I was thinking about it, and you guys can let me know this, and it would probably be morning every morning, and I was going to call it Duchess Daily and make it a completely different channel where I talk face to face about whatever the fuck's going on in the immediate moment, and also try to find weird stuff to get in there and something that's a good humanity story. Is that possible to find every day? I don't know, but I want to try it out. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I've been toying with it for like 2 weeks in my head, and I need to just try it out and see what happens. And it would be like Monday through Friday in the morning, my time. So it'll probably be like early in the morning, my time. I don't know. Could be great. Could be a horrible disaster. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I feel like just getting up, putting on my glasses, and making coffee, and you guys can see me. And as soon as I roll out of bed, that'd be hilarious. Awful and terrifying, but hilarious. But watch myself on that graveyard. Oh yeah, I don't ever walk over the graves. I feel like that's horribly disrespectful. Good. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up now. I'm gonna thank you guys for coming, and should have a video up for you tomorrow. And on that note, I'm going to say bye. Bye. Bye.